Hello, I'm Ron with Midwest Truck. This is a new truck that we just took possession of, and we are getting ready to outfit it with the new upgraded HA-7 model HAAS control unit, safety cloud. We have the HA-5s in our other trucks. The HA-7 is an upgrade, has the potential, once they do the firmware update, for a 2-input. But other than that, it has an external antenna, which the HA-5 doesn't. The wiring's simple. Ground, power, and trigger wire. Very simple. We're going to do a quick install today and show you how it's done. To begin the install, Ethan and I are going to show you the basic set of tools you might need for an install on almost any type of vehicle. First, some kind of power tester. I prefer a power probe to be able to check your power and ground and your signal wires. Make sure you're not going to short anything out. Have some of our standard electrical tools. These are crimpers right here for crimping the heat shrinks, cutters and strippers, a different style of cutter and stripper, and then a torch of some kind to be able to heat shrink any external connections. We're ready to install the HA-7 unit and run some of the wiring. We've checked and found our constant power, our constant ground, our trigger wire, and since this is going to be mounted internally, it has an external antenna we have to run and mount as well. We'll get to that here in just a minute. Whereas the other series, the HA-5, had to have a direct view of the sun, this one thankfully has the external antenna. And you can mount it almost anywhere. We're going to mount ours right here in this box, out of the way, out of the weather, and then we'll run our wiring. All right, now we have the unit mounted. Run the wiring and the antenna and activate it and test it. We've got our trigger wire run into our control board so that when we turn our amber lights on, the HA-7 unit automatically starts transmitting. The driver doesn't even have to think about it. All he does is turn on the emergency lights, and the HA-7 does the rest. We have our ground and hot wires, as well as our trigger wires, fished through the wire looms and into this main control box, where we have access to truck ground, truck power, and a junction block for our triggers. It's always good advice to disconnect the batteries whenever you're doing this to reduce the risk of shorting anything out. This has a kill switch that we've killed the power. There was the hot. Now we'll get the ground. All right, we have hot and ground up here, and we have our trigger wire fed from inside the cab down to this junction block on the bottom, which goes back over to our HA-7 unit that's already mounted. Now, if we've done everything properly, we screw this into the HA-7 unit and tap into our trigger wire inside the cab. We should be ready to test. We have located a very good place to mount the external antenna so that it gets a good view of the sky and cell signal. We were able to use existing grommets in the body to run the wiring through, mounted the antenna where you see it, and it is in the control box where it will go straight into the HA-7 unit. Now that we've tapped in our trigger wire, we simply plug all of our cables in. We have very specific cables marked for your cellular network. For the GPS, those both go to the external antenna. which allows this unit to be mounted remotely. And then we have the power, ground, and trigger. And she's lit up, which means we've done something right. We have green lights flashing, so. Now, to get the HA-7 fully functional, we need to configure the external antenna. There's a button on the top. We're going to push it in and hold it until the lights turn orange, start flashing. Then we'll hold for an additional 5 seconds. Then they start fast flashing. Release. They turned blue. We should be ready to go. All right, we have the external antenna mounted and configured. We have everything else wired in, and we are ready to test the HA-7 unit. Currently, it shows that it is all synced, and this truck is in standby mode in green. We'll have Ethan turn on the emergency lights, and it should turn orange. It did. It shows that he is responding. Turn the lights off. It shows standby mode. We'll go back one more time. Went orange and shows him responding again. So, successful install. Job well done. Now that we have a successful install of the Haas Alert Safety Cloud system, anytime we are on scene, it will be sending out a signal to motorists to slow down, move over, to help keep us safe and get us home safely.